We do want to turn now to a story that had people just dropping their jaws yesterday. Britney Spears, that testimony that everybody is talking about. The 39-year-old pop superstar breaking her silence on that conservatorship that's been controlling her life and her finances. I want to bring in now Ann-Margaret Carrozza. She's an asset protection attorney and the author of Love and Money. I also want to bring in a friend of our show here as well, Sirius XM radio host and ABC News contributor Mike Muse. Ann-Margaret, I want to start with you here. A conservatorship. I keep hearing that it's so difficult sometimes to get someone into one, but explain again why these are in place and how people end up in them.
Sure. So a conservatorship is established when a judge appoints a responsible individual or an organization to be in charge of another adult called the conservatee, who is incapable of caring for themselves or handling their finances. So I was involved as a former state legislator in New York's version of the conservatorship laws. And I can tell you, TJ, I have never seen or heard of a case like this. So we're all familiar with celebrities and extravagant lifestyles and wild spending. These behaviors in and of themselves should not land someone in a conservatorship, nor should mental health issues and substance abuse challenges. The question for a court is whether or not the individual is capable of making good decisions.
So, Michael, on this point, just because you make bad decisions doesn't mean you're not capable of making good decisions. We're all capable of making a good one. We make bad ones all the time. That doesn't mean she can't control her own finances or her own life. What does this do now for this moment? We talking about free Britney? She sounded like an actual prisoner in listening to her yesterday, Mike.
She did, TJ, and I think that was something I picked up on about the sounding like your own prisoner. It was really chilling. You know, we've heard about the Free Britney movement and the framing of Britney Spears, but we never heard it from her own voice, and everyone had been speculating in terms of what was she feeling. And to the point about the prisoner, and when she compared her experience to sex trafficking, I think it all gave us pause to really understand how she felt so trapped, how she felt so taken advantage of, and how she felt like she wasn't in control of her own humanity. And speaking of humanity, the part, TJ, that really got me was when it came down to reproductive rights and family planning. When the ending of the speech, when she said that she had the IUD placed in her and she hasn't been able to go see a doctor to have it removed because she wants to have children and get married, that was just stripping of who this person is, whose humanity is, and who does this conservatorship have the right to determine someone's reproductive rights and family planning. I think this is more than just about conservatorship. There's something else at play here.
Mike, she has her fans, and a lot of people had sympathy for her, right, in the Free Britney movement. What does this do for her now from a publicity standpoint? And again, this wasn't some publicity stunt. I'm not suggesting that at all. But from a public standpoint, people's hearts went out to her in a way yesterday that maybe they haven't for the past 13 years of this conservatorship.
No, I know exactly what you meant by that. It's the more empathy. The public now has more empathy for Britney Spears. We oftentimes see these celebrities, in particular pop figures from that era, as these entities. Britney has always kind of shied away from giving her first person narrative, and kind of owning her truth has always been described for her. And so for the first time, we actually heard her. And I think now the American public, whether you're a fan of her music, whether you think this conservatorship is warranted or not at the time of its placement, we now have more empathy for her. And it's narrative now, I believe we are all rooting for her. At the end of the day, we want her to have her humanity. We want her to feel whole again. TJ, we're all working Americans. We all know what it's like. And when she said she's been working since the age of 17, and yet she has this incredible payroll that she's responsible for, that she has no choice to choose who's on her payroll, and that she's actually giving just a slight stipend, from a person to person, no matter if you're a celebrity or not, we all know what that could feel like. And I think that is the empathy. And I think now what she has found through this movement is that she has a whole community and society that is rooting for her. And I think as a whole, TJ, what is the lesson, the takeaway is that, how do we be mindful, and particularly the media, how do we cover celebrities, right? How do we be mindful of wanting to get the story while still maintaining their humanity and their right to privacy and to exist? Because Britney is a case study of when that can go tragically wrong.
That's a very good point. She is a human being, and we learned more about her probably yesterday in her own words than we have in her entire 20-plus career that we think we have been watching. Ann-Margaret Carrozza, Mike Muse, we appreciate both of you as always. We will continue to follow this case.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.